Pixel Sift is proudly supported by the Murdoch University School of Arts. If you're looking for a creative degree, they might be able to help you out. If you're keen to learn more, just head for the website at murdoch.edu.au/arts to find out what they've got on offer. That again was murdoch.edu.au/arts, or you can just search Murdoch University for more information. Murdoch University of School of Arts proudly supporting Pixel Sift.
Pixel Sift.
Hello and welcome to episode 156 of Pixel Sift, the show dedicated to indie games from around Australia and the world. My name's Fiona Bartholomaeus, and joining me tonight is my co-host Mitch. Hey, thanks for joining us, Mitch.
Yes, I'm here.
Back in the chair.
Very excited. Yeah.
And we've also got a guest with us tonight, Brigitta Rena, art director at Mojiken Studios. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we'll be talking to Brigitta about Mojiken Studio's new game, When the Past Was Around.
Why don't we jump straight into it?
Australia's best video game podcast.
Subscribe to Pixel Sift on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are found.
So our guest this evening is Brigitta Rena, who is the art director at Mojiken Studio, and she's here to talk about their new game, When the Past Was Around. Just to start off, for people who may not know, what is When the Past Was Around?
Yeah, so When the Past Was Around is a short adventure point-and-click game about love, moving on, letting go, and the joy and pain of everything in between. It tells a story of Ada, an aspiring violinist who almost gives up on her dream, who falls in love with another violinist in the form of an owl-headed man.
So what made you decide to have the other character as an owl-headed man? It's quite an unusual design in a character, but I really liked how he looked. He looked very nice.
Thank you. So at first, we planned to make some kind of beast as a lover from the start. So I've kind of obsessed with the beast and the girl duo things. Just like I take reference from the ancient Marcus Bright comic book by Koro Yamasaki, or The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabe. So I really like the beast and the beauty vibe in here. At first, we didn't know what kind of beast we should portray him. So since I love drawing bird and plant, I think it's better to just starting from what I love. So I want to make a bird-headed man or a plant-headed man for these beast characters. After a little searching, I choose an owl because owl represent wisdom, knowledge, and owl is guardian of the past. So I think that's what our protagonist Ada, that it was she need in this difficult states of her life in the game.
We have we see the owl very early in the game, and you kind of discover what he looks like. Was the decision very early on to have you know exactly what he looked like from the beginning?
So before creating designing the whole puzzle game and everything, I love to make some kind of mock-up because I'm an artist. I love to draw the concept first, so I think I already know what kind of character I want in it to be, what kind of art style I want this game to be, so something like that.
So how many concept designs did you go through for both the girl and her partner before you decided, these were the ones?
A lot, but I think the process is just on me. So I since we are a very small studio, so we didn't have to validate ourselves to so many people, I guess. And so if I see it fit, so I think we can just go with it. And I make a small validation that I share it on Twitter, on Instagram, on our social media, and people reaction to these two characters are good. So I think, yeah, we could go.
What parts of your culture do you hope? What parts of your culture do you hope come across in your games most of all?
I think I want to put the more slice of life things from my culture, because we in Indonesia love to bring like the traditional culture into games, into our comic book and film, but sometimes we almost forgot that our everyday life, our way of life, how we talk to each other in our country, it's part of our culture, and I want to bring that simplicity to our game. So I think that's what I want to bring. The architecture, the environment in these current days, something like that.
And why is it important that the games that you create have bits of your culture in it? What does it mean for you to be able to share that with everyone?
Actually, I before I love I love how the Japanese animation and games that are they can bring that everyday life into their creation, in their comic books, in animation. So I think I have kind of inspired by that, and because I was growing up reading Japanese comic books, so that's kind of uh, mission, I guess. So it's like if I want to bring what Japanese people do with my own culture, with Indonesian culture. So I think we have to sometimes in my country, it's like people love they'll aspire to go to Japan because they already read the comic book, the animation, something like that. So I try. I think it's a good way to to represent my country in a more subtle way in our everyday life that everyone can relate to it. So yeah.
How did you achieve the subtlety of the game?
I think the subtlety is like I try to make the story, the character Christou as common as possible, so many people can relate to it. But I try to put the environment. I take reference from my hometown environments, and sometimes I try to make the character gesture that are common in this Indonesia. It's like we I think, as for example, like these two characters are a lover, and in Indonesia we rarely show any public display affection in here. So whenever these two couple are in public, I try to to portray the decency. I think it's not the right word. I think to try to portray how they the gesture, how they do it, without so much public display affection, and yeah. But at the same time, I want to show that they are still loving each other. I hope that makes sense.
No, that makes lots of sense. And playing the game, it was really beautiful just seeing their progression of them meeting each other and falling in love. I thought it was a really nice, short and sort of simplistic love story that we can all, in a way, understand and relate to, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, could you also walk us through a bit of the art style? It's quite a nice, soft sort of art style. Reminds me a bit of like graphic novels and things like that.
So for the art style, I think I take so much reference from the illustrator that I like. So I take reference from Pung, Mauri Sakai, and Yuko Higuchi. So three of them have a warm kind of was out color mood that looked like an old photo. And I love how Pung created the couple everyday life in every illustration. So maybe some poses you can find the similarity from Pung's artworks and what you found in the game. And for Mauri Sakai's art, I love how she, portray the simple everyday life, but also it feels magical in some kind of way. And Yuko Hikuchi is more like I like the mysterious vibe she draws. So I think because this character is this kind of owl-headed man, so I try to make him more warm, but at the same time he feels kind of aliens to us. So I want to bring that mysteriousness in Owl. So yeah, from these three illustrators, we make adjustment and trying to simplify where we feel comfortable enough, because this art is worked by not just me but also so many people helping me as well in the art, and the result is what you see in the game.
Can you tell us more about how you used color in the game? It's not as bright as your previous game, She and the Lightbearer.
Yeah, sure. The color, if in She, I use some kind of like cold color tone. So in this, because I want to capture like the warm feeling of love and the nostalgic feeling like we are opening a photo book. So I try to make it more warm color tone. And yeah, and the selfish reason is that because I already know how to color in what I did in She and the Light Bearer, where I use like blue and cold color tone. I want to explore in the area that I did not before.
What was the reason for having hand-drawn art in the game?
I think it's because I like it. I think I see what is it? My team can do that. I mean, I'm before I'm making before I thinking that this game was made for game. At first, I was solely thinking about the aesthetic of the artwork. So it's more like kind of selfish idea at first. But then after we agree that this art is okay, then not just me. So there are so many people in studio also help me, like how to what can we do so that this specific hand-drawn art style can be duplicated by other team members. So I think it's just solely because the aesthetic, and I love to make a good art in a game.
So you said that the art style needs to be easily duplicated by other team members. What do you do to make that process easier for your other team members?
I think before I love to make the art that are that are so unique and we can find it in any game, I guess. But at the same time, in She and the Like Beetle, I was kind of I solely pursue that uniqueness, and I didn't I didn't I didn't consider other talents in our studio, so I have to work it alone with my background artist at the time. And for this one, I got help from many people. So before I make the aesthetic of this, when the past was around game, I try to I try to see what our talent in our studio can make. So in our studio, we always love a good line out. So I try to push that, and that will be our main point of view of the art. And because in a previous project in Chien de la Perle, so many people cannot duplicate my color mode. So I try to make the color of this game as simple as possible, so other people can just try to put it there and that's it. And as the art style, I think I'm using more like realistic environment art style. So they didn't have to think about how to stylize this kind of environment, just like in the Chien de la Perle. So they can do they just need the references, objects, or backgrounds references, and they can just draw it. And all I do is just make sure that whatever line out they make is good enough, and that's it, I guess.
Like, how did it feel to have for it to be necessary to kind of simplify your style for someone else to emulate to help you make the game?
I think it's really necessary because in the end, game is something that that are made by so many people. So I think it's more important to to find the best possible comfortable way for my team to work on this game. So I have to embrace what they can do and what they cannot do. So I think simplifying things is more important than chasing my egoist idealistic things, I guess. So yeah, I mean, even though we put the simplify thing, we always think, is it still good enough to make, or if we simplify this, what we lost or what we gain, something like that. And we see we gain more by simplify things, simplify the art style, and yeah, so that we are good to go with that.
Now, Rena, this game was made under the Mojiken Camp program.
Yes.
that your studio runs. Can you tell me more about how that works and how ideas formed in that program become fully fledged games, like when the past was around?
So at first, So Mojiken Camp, I think I should explain first that Mojiken Camp is our some kind of internal game jam, because we love to take a break from developing our big game in every 2 years. We love to present each of our member ideas about game and what we can do, and going so full experimenting things. And in from I think it's from 2 years ago that I was proposing to make When the Past Was Around, and from this When the Past Was Around is more like, we try to make the game. I think it's more like image mock-up that we are show it in our social media, so we can we ask people to vote which one of the idea that are catching their interest, and When the Past Was Around was one of them. So from that after we see the voting, and so we try to make simple, a small group, I guess, a small group of 3 people. So from there, I make the prologue chapter, and I've got help from my 2 other members. One is Pandu Rukmi that are helping me doing the art. I especially requested him because he has very good line art works. So that's one of my reason why I make the art style. And the second one is my programmer at the time, Dio. And for the full game, sadly, these two cannot continue working with me. So we are making recruiting other members, and we make a better, not better, bigger. We make a bigger team to make this game into a full game.
Now, we've been talking about your process of creating art for the game, but I'm quite curious, how did you first get into game development?
At first, it's more like actually before I met my Mojiken team first in my college, so everyone is my college friend, and we are planning to make illustration studio. So we are a visual communication design student at the time, and we want to make a illustration studio. But at some point of our time in this illustration studio, we found out that we want to we want to make game, and can we I think we kind of adventurous at the time because we're still student and all, and we want to try everything. So we want to make games. So what can we do for this? So I think that's the start. So yeah, I was I love illustrating at first, but I think with game we can we can communicate more of our thought in that.
Did you have to change much of your style going from illustrations to creating art and backgrounds and everything for games?
I think the change is not from that, but the change I just realized that every time I make a new project in a game, I have to change my art style. So it's not from the illustration studio to the game studio, but it's more like from its project, its game project, I guess. So I think it's a good thing because I usually love to explore my art style, and I think it's some kind of how I grow with it.
Rena, can you explain what a typical workday looks like for you?
Typical. Before pandemic, I was just we always we always come to studio at 10, and we have a little meeting, what should we do and what should be done at that day. But because of the pandemic, I think things kind of change. It's like if before we have the meeting at 10, now we have the Discord meeting at 11, and it's still the same. We still talking about our job description for the day, and what should we do and what should we not, with what should we aim. And I think it's still the same, but for now we all only go to our studio in Wednesday every 2 weeks to to have this sprint meeting for one of our projects. So yeah, but for the rest it's still the same, I guess, because we already have. I mean, I think it's our privilege as game developer because all we need to make game is our computer or our desktop or our laptop, and we can work it anywhere we go. So from the development is like maybe there's some kind of like we need to adjust, and because we are working from home, there we can make we can be fully committed, we can fully focus on the work. So yeah, I think we have to adjust the timeline for the project as well.
Is it important for you to have all your games have a very different art style?
I think personally, yes, because I love to explore more, and each game is, what is it? It tells a different mood, it tells a different story. So I think the art style is have to adjust that so people can receive the mood and the story of the game easily.
So we've talked all about the game and also your involvement in art, how you got your start. But one thing we like to ask all the people on the show is, do you have any tips for aspiring artists or aspiring game developers?
Maybe tips. I'm kind of afraid to give a wrong tips. Maybe just play game, I guess. So because whatever design, whatever things I'm starting with is that because I was playing game, and don't be afraid to feel like your idea is too silly or it's too, I don't know. At first, I feel like my idea of a game is kind of girly, and I think in this in this industry that are so many men in it, and lately it has it has a lot of women also in here. So don't think that this game is not good enough for other people, because sometimes if you love the design, love the game, I think there are somewhere out there that are the same people that I love your game too.
Well, that's all about.
That's it.
I love that answer.
Yeah, that is a great answer.
Because I was playing it yesterday just to prepare for this interview, and I was in tears during it. So it was like it affected me, your work, and thank you very much for your creation, because it was fantastic. I liked it a lot.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, that is all that we have time for tonight. But hey, if you want to find out more about the game, you can head to their Twitter page, which is at WPWA Game. And you can also check out Brigitta's Twitter at Christou Nyam. That's Christou, Nyam. Thanks for being part of the show tonight, Brigitta.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Now, Pixel Sift is produced by Scott Quigg, Sarah Ireland, myself, Mitch Lowe, Daniel Ang, Adam Christou, and Gianni Di Giovanni is our executive producer. And we wouldn't have been able to make 156 episodes of Pixel Sift if we didn't have the support of Murdoch University. So go and check them out, tell them that we sent you, and if you're keen to learn more about a great creative degree, head to murdoch.edu.au/arts. That again was murdoch.edu.au/arts. And as always, we'll be sticking links to everything we talked about in the show notes on our website at www.pixelsift.com.au.
And you can also come join us on Discord. We'd love to have you there. That's pixelsift.com.au/Discord, or you can find the button on our website where you can share your creative work, talk about topics and games and anything else. That's pixelsift.com.au/Discord. And if you like what we do, can we ask you a favor? We need your help to share the show. So tell a friend, subscribe your brothers and sisters, and start someone's journey into podcasts, because we know that getting started is tricky, but once you're in, you'll love it too much to leave. And it really isn't tricky. Just push a button.
Yeah, you can easily do it. But the next episode is on the 15th of October. We'll be back. Well, not episode. We'll be back on the 15th of October playing Pixel Sift Plays, one of the many indie games that we feature on the show. Maybe a bit of Moving Out, maybe not. We'll see what we
Gianni
decide
wants us to
pull out
stop.
the hat.
Gianni wants us to stop playing Moving Out, but I want to keep playing it anyway.
But that's all for this week. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.